What is going on, my broskies? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. And today, I'm going to go through a post I made on my community tab just the other week. And this is very similar to the other community tab post that I made the other week, talking about like just a One Piece Treasure Cruise Q&A. Now, this time around, it is a bit different because we're going to be talking about like OPTC lingo or terminologies in Treasure Cruise that you may not understand. So hopefully you guys saw this post so I can reply to some of your questions. Now, what I mean by that is sometimes the Treasure Cruise community will dub certain things in the game as another terminology that's easier to refer to. Like in the examples that I've put in the post, TSL is the shortened version of Time Skip Luffy, which if you guys don't know is the old quick Time Skip Luffy, wherever he is, this guy right here. This was TSL Time Skip Luffy, so just putting that out there. FN is for Fortnite, which was the old school 2-week events that used to be out, why they were called Fortnites, obviously. But then, obviously, as time went on, they actually extended their durations to be like 1 month, and then they've completely removed them. So most of the time, we don't really use this anymore to call certain units Fortnites, because like not too many people are using Fortnite characters anymore. But either way, and then the last one that I have as an example is KFL, which is Kung Fu Luffy, the Sugo Fest exclusive character. And there's plenty of others in the community that hopefully we'll touch up on in this video today. So anyways, I scrolled down and like as I made this post, over the first few hours, a lot of people that were commenting certain terminologies, people were just replying to that comment and just answering it anyway. So I was getting kind of, I wouldn't say I was getting upset, but I was just getting kind of annoyed at the fact that, you know, I was going to save all these answers for the video, but people are already answering the questions anyway. And I was basically said, no, I'm not doing it anymore. But then people did say that they wanted me to do it, so that's why we're here. Anyways, let's have a look. My boy says KFL is obviously Kentucky Fried Luffy. Yes, obviously Kentucky Fried Luffy. Gotta get me some Kentucky Fried Luffy in my system, bro. Okay, next one. Okay, so this is just, yeah, everything that we basically just went through, just giving the answer to the question and the example that I gave. Anyways, next is important buffs and debuffs. I mean, this wasn't really what I was going for, but I guess this is kind of nice to touch up on. So for those people that have no idea what this means, so in the game, when you read a certain character, there are certain dubbed effects that are typed a little bit differently from what people to refer to in the community, right? So people call things orb boosts, but in the game, it actually refers to them as a slot effect boost. Type effect boost is color affinity. I know that's a big one that a lot of people don't understand. So anything that we refer to is color affinity. If a character says boost the type effects of your normal attacks, that's what color affinity is. Chain coefficient equals chain multiply. I mean, that's sort of, I guess. I mean, the chain coefficient is basically like the incremental value that every time you hit a good, a great, or a perfect, it's the incremental value that gets added to your chain multiplier. So if something is a chain coefficient reduction, it means that every time you hit a good, a great, or a perfect, that multiplier boost is reduced. So that's what chain coefficient reduction is. Percent damage reduction is the rainbow shield. Yes, I touch up on, every time I mention percent damage reduction, I always refer to it as the rainbow shield, so people know what I mean. Defense up and increased defense, yes, that is the blue shield. Nullified damage is, yeah, it's like the golden / brown shield. It's a shiny brown shield, shiny gold shield, nullified damage, so they take no damage at all. Cut reduced damage over a certain amount is the damage threshold. Well, damage threshold is just damage threshold, I guess. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. This should actually be reversed. Damage threshold equals like this, basically. Special bind is silence. I mean, personally speaking, I prefer to call it special bind because it's a lot easier just to refer to it as special bind compared to silence, in my opinion. Boost attack against defense down is, yeah, that's a conditional attack boost. So it's an attack boost that requires a condition in order to activate. So, you know, boost attack against enemies that are delayed, boost attack against enemies that have reduced defense, boost attack against enemies inflicted with toxic or poison. Same sort of thing. Those are all conditional boosts. And then remove SFX is the blindness debuff. Yes, so a lot of people don't know about that one. Why it's called remove SFX is because when you tap on a character and then the words that go into the center of the enemy, those are like sound effects, like kaboom, zap, whatever it's called. So it's removing the SFX, which are what those are. So that's why it's called the blindness debuff. It's just a lot easier to refer to it as blindness, but it's actually called remove SFX. does OPTC mean? Yo, facts. Anyways, we'll move on. Sticky, my man Nightmare JP, shout out to that guy. What are the differences between the crew skills like res, etc.? Okay, so if you go to a character, for example, we could go with Timeskip Luffy, right? Why are not all these crewmate effects here? Okay, let's just go to another Sugo Fest exclusive, and we shall find a character to talk about. Let's have a look here. Let's go to, okay, the Sweet 3 Generals, right? Okay, so in this instance here, let me zoom in a bit so you guys can see. So their first crewmate ability says, makes Dex, Quick, and Int Orbs beneficial for themselves. What this means is this is a unique ability. This is a unique ability that only this character has. And then the secondary one says completely resists silence, which is special bind, on this character. Completely resists it. Now this crewmate effect will be listed as a res or a resistance debuff. So it resists a certain debuff from happening. This is a unique ability that only this character has. And then is there another example of one that we can grab? Adds 3 times tap timing bonus. I believe this would be considered a unique ability. This is also a unique ability. I'm trying to find one that's a better example, but it's not. I'm trying to find a stat boosting one, right? No, all of these are like unique effects. Come on, surely there's a stat boosting one somewhere. Here we go. Boost the base stats of all characters by 100. So this is going to be classified as a stat boosting crewmate effect. So there's 3 different crewmate effects: stat boosting, unique, and resistances. So that's what that just refers to, basically. Honestly, I don't understand any of them, but I'd probably say TND. I know what it means, tandem orbs or something like that. Yeah, that's correct. TND refers to tandem. That's all it means. What does free-to-play mean? Well, yeah, there you go. I just automatically go to, I don't call it F2P. It's a lot easier just to say free-to-play, but there you go. But no, free-to-play, everyone knows free-to-play. It's better to be free-to-play, honestly. In all honesty, it saves your wallet. Nico Robin says, what's a broski? How does one eat glue? A broski is anyone watching this video right now, but if you don't like and subscribe, you're not a true broski. But either way, how does one eat glue? How does one eat glue? So one eats glue if they put damage reduction sockets on their legend carrot. That's someone that eats glue. Please explain broski, bruh, and literally. Those are my main words. That's the only words I have in my vocabulary. So no, that's all I'm gonna say about that. I've been playing for 4 years and I don't know what those terms mean. Maybe since I play Japan and can't read it, that's why. Okay, so he's just referring to the ones that we mentioned at the start of the video. A clear understanding for some buffs and debuffs like chain coefficient. Okay, we actually just talked about that. That was actually a really good comment up here, I guess, because this helps out a lot of players that have no idea what this means. So that's nice that we were able to touch up on that. Next is SW characters. What is the meaning of that? Okay, so for those who weren't playing the game a long time ago, Strong World, referring to the film, of course, a lot of people just referred to these characters as SW Frankie, for example, or SW Usopp, so Strong World Usopp. And these characters were obviously controversial for a few reasons, because they originally had different artworks. Does it actually have the original artworks here? Yeah, so like for example, like Luffy, this was the original Strong World Luffy artwork, so this is what he looks like in the film. But then there were some issues that went down with that, where they actually had to change the artworks for the units for some reason. So then they reintroduced the Strong World units with the differing artworks. So I'm not a big fan of the new artworks, but at least we got the same units eventually. So that's all that SW stands for. What is the Fear debuff? Strength Chopper has it, and it has a 3 ability, but I don't understand what it is. Okay, so I think he's referring, so he said Stampede Chopper, right? Let's have a look. Strength Chopper, right? Okay, so he has the Fear debuff apparently. Yeah, so what Fear is, it's Sailor Despair resistance. So there are certain times where your characters will be inflicted with a new debuff called Fear. And what it does is when a character is inflicted with it, it disables their crewmate effects. So these crewmate effects will no longer be active, meaning that your character's base attack are not boosted by 30, and he does not resist 3 turns of special bind, which obviously is a big downfall there, because there are some characters that need that ability to resist special bind to then, you know, go ahead and reduce the rest of your special bind on your crew. So by a character having resistance, so if they resisted by 5 turns, for example, if you get hit with, you know, 5 turns of fear resistance, or with the fear debuff, he means that he'll be able to use his crewmate effects. That's all it really means. It's a relatively newer debuff, so I can understand why some people have no idea what it is. During a Kizuna, the term player X has helped you 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star conditions. Okay, so what this means, is every time you help someone in a Kizuna or another person helps you in Kizuna, you actually rank up, and then the more stars that a character has, or that other person has on your account during that Kizuna, means that when you sometimes will receive a support, you know how sometimes when you enter a Kizuna and it says someone has helped you and has given you a 1.1 times boost or a 1.2 times boost. The stars refer to how big of that boost you'll get from that person. So if you've got 3 stars on a person, when you get a support from them, you're going to get a 1.3 times stat boost to your characters. That's all it means. It's pretty straightforward. Tandem orbs are so useless back in the day, but tandem orbs are for the combo. Yeah, so tandem is a mechanic that not really is used anymore. But yeah, I don't really get what the question is. There's no real question, but yeah, tandem orbs were basically used for that really weird mechanic back in the day, but most of the time now, characters are just using tandem orbs as additional matching orbs, in most cases anyway. What does the term uninstall mean? Hear from players all the time. You know what an uninstall means. I shouldn't have to touch on that. SHP. I actually don't know what SHP is. What is this? Straw Hat Pirates? I have seen no one refer to Straw Hat Pirates as SHP. That's coming from someone that's been in the Treasure Cruise community since the very beginning, and I've never seen anyone call the Straw Hat Pirates SHP. That's the first time I've ever seen that, so that's an interesting one. What is Kevin? Kevin, I mean, for those of you who don't know, back in the day when people were trying to come up with a name for Luffy and Ace, because it was the first Sugo Fest exclusive dual unit in the game, and people wanted a shortened name to refer to that character, and then people were just really upset with some of the combinations of words that people were putting up, so then people just decided just to call it Kevin for some reason, and I don't know why, it just seemed to stick, and a lot of people kept calling it Kevin. I personally don't think that's a really good thing, but it is what it is, it's what people do. What is the broskiis? I've already said it's the people who are watching the video right now, but if you don't like and subscribe, you're not a true broski, so make sure you're doing that. AoE damage. I know Kaido does it, but I don't know what it means. AoE stands for area of effect, which just means damage that targets more than one enemies, or damage that targets a wide area of range, and that's essentially what it is. So if damage targets all enemies or a wide range of enemies, that's AoE damage. Pretty straightforward. How does the scroll/flags for Rumble work in terms of leveling up? Is it color character with color scroll more complex? Okay, that's a very odd way of structuring that sentence, but I think you mean like if you use the same color scroll on the same color character, you will get additional EXP for doing that. So if you've got a Psy character, you want to feed them Psy scrolls, they get additional EXP. Could someone timestamp the FAQ video you did? Okay, well there you go. About transfer, that was near the beginning, I think. I always wondered, what does Strength, Quick, Dex, Int, Psi stand for? Well, the thing is no one really cares. I mean, I know that some people like really want to know, but in a lot of cases, no one really cares. It's just the way to refer to the colors. Strength, Quick, Dexterity, Intelligence, and then Psi is like, I don't know what Psi is. Like, is it like psychological? I feel like this should have just been physical. I don't understand why it's Psi specifically, but it's fine. It doesn't matter anyway. What is SPT type on Rumble? Support, right, because on Rumble they have a different, what's it called? It's not called a class, it's like a form, right? It's a style, that's what it is. So every character on Rumble that has Rumble abilities has a style, so it can be an attack type, defense type, supporter, debuffer, and then there's another one. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head, but there's 5 different styles, and SPT stands for support, and that's the one with like the megaphone icon. So those are characters that typically buff your other surrounding units. That's all they do. What is RNG? Random number generator? It's random. It's just things are chosen at random, and that's what gacha is. Gacha is completely RNG. Procking just means like activating, basically. What is a V2? If I pull Snake Man dupe, can I make him V2? No. A V2 just means like it's the second iteration of that character. I know that that is something a little bit confusing that the community kind of dubs, that some people who just get into Treasure Cruise don't know what it means. So, okay, let's pull up, let's say, Mihawk, for example. And if we go by 6-star characters, So dual units don't really count when people talk about V1s, V2s, for example, but this was the first Mihawk legend in the game right here, this Int 1. This was the first one. When this Mihawk came out, people referred to him as V2 Mihawk. It was the second legend Mihawk to come out. Then there was Mihawk and Perona, people just call it, you know, dual Mihawk Perona, whatever it is. And then this is the Halloween Mihawk that came out recently on Japan, and this is V3 Mihawk. And this refers to any legend in the game, right? So like Whitebeard, for example. So with Whitebeard, there is V1 Whitebeard. I mean, Mark obviously doesn't count. V1 Whitebeard, and people call this V2 Whitebeard, or I just call him Quickbeard. But either way, that's how people typically refer to characters in the game. V1, we just talked about that. Who is Kevin? Luffy Ace. Okay, so here we go. We've got a bunch here. So LL is Log Luffy. SWS, I mean, that should be Strongword Shanks. People don't really call Strongword Shanks SWS. People just call him like SW Shanks. And then that'd be the same here, Strongword Ace, so SW Ace. WB is Whitebeard, and then YWB is Young Whitebeard. So young Whitebeard being the invasion, right? This guy right here. So this, people call this guy like YWB, Young Whitebeard. Cool. Bomb slots. I thought I knew what they did, but with the new kid, makes them look weird. What is resilience for? Okay, so hang on, there's a couple of questions here. So what a bomb slot is if you hit a good or a great on a bomb slot, it gets flung back at you, and then it does a percentage of your health as damage. So it's like either like a 10% or a 5% health cut. But if you hit a perfect, it flings the bomb all the way, so you don't get hit by it. What is resilience for? Resilience is a buff that the enemy can apply where you have to do a damage dealing special to kill them, or you need like poison to kill them. But what it basically means is that if you're doing normal attacks on an enemy that has resilience, if you get them down to 1 HP, they just don't die. They will never die if they have resilience active. The only way you can kill them is if they're at like 1 HP and then you do a damage dealing special, or you have end of turn damage, or you have poison, some way to get through that. But yeah, resilience just means that they just stay alive on 1 HP. I also see it a lot on GP content, and I don't understand why it's bad on global. Just resilience is super annoying. It's super annoying to deal with. Don't really know what this guy means by taking jokes. I think he's referring to my pinned comment that I said that like I was gonna make the video, but everyone's answering the questions. Don't really understand. Wasn't even making a joke about that. What does P2P? P2P is pay to play. POG, play of the game. RNG, random number generator. And what do TND orbs actually do? So tandem orbs was a very old mechanic. I mean, we kind of touched up on it already. It's a really old mechanic, and it was really bad, really poorly implemented. And since the start of the game, they basically haven't touched the tandem mechanic anymore. So essentially, tandem orbs are just another way for you to get matching orbs. That's basically all they do. Greetings from Greece. Shout out to Greece. Thank you very much for commenting, Bill. NAO. So NAO stands for normal attacks only. That's what it stands for. I know what it does, but I don't know what it means. Yeah, so NAO is just normal attacks only. And what is the difference between Pirate Festival and Pirate Rumble? Nothing. They are the exact same thing. It's just on JP, for some reason they called it Pirate Festival, but then on Global they called it Pirate Rumble. Personally speaking, I actually prefer Pirate Rumble. I think that name is a lot better. But for some reason on JP they called it Pirate Festival. But it's the same thing, just in case if that's confusing. LRR stands for Limited Rare Recruit. So it's a rare recruit that's only like available during a very specific banner. So that's what a Limited Rare Recruit is. OTK means 1 turn kill, so killing something in 1 turn with 1 hit. Is color affinity an orb boost? No, it is not. So we touched up on that a little earlier. So if you attack if you've got a strength unit and you attack a dex enemy, you deal double damage. And what that means is if you've got a unit that is a color affinity booster, so that damage, because you've got the type advantage, which is the double damage, if you've got a color affinity booster, it boosts the type effective damage. So if you've got a 2x color affinity booster, instead of dealing double damage against a type advantage enemy, you're gonna be doing 4x damage against a type advantageous enemy. And it does work in the reverse as well. So if you're a strength enemy and you attack a quick enemy, you deal like half damage, but if you double that, you will actually do only a quarter damage. So it works both ways, but it is another boost that can give you a very substantial amount of damage. It's a very, very key boost when you are playing Treasure Cruise for sure. Bro, get that out of my comments, man. Get that out of my comments, Jay. What does it mean to be a broski? It means you're someone that subscribes to the YouTube channel and likes the videos. Though that's what a broski is. Thank you very much for commenting, Marcus. DN. I don't know what DN stands for. I've never heard of that in terms of Treasure Cruise terminologies before. What is a whale team that everyone is talking about? Whale team just means like a team that has a lot of summonable units. Like you need like a lot of money to get a lot of those units. That's basically all it just is referring to. Pog is play of the game. Proc is an activation. A GPU is Golden Pound Usopp, which is one of the very, very first characters in the game. If we go to Usopp and then we go Sai, go to the start, Golden Pound Usopp. Back in the day when the game was in the early stages, this was one of the most important characters in the game, as he had a 10-turn cooldown that just delayed all enemies for 3 turns, and debuff immunity was not as common as what it is right now, so being able to delay things was very useful, and not even using it on a boss stage either, but even just delaying mob stages so that you could get additional turns of stall, because maxing the specials of characters back in the day was very, very difficult. So Golden Pound Usopp was the OG legend of One Piece Treasure Cruise, that's for sure. What are sockets? Sockets are the, slots. So the slots of a character. So I've randomly just pulled up an image on Google Images here, but you can see like these 4 abilities right here. These are what the sockets are. Right here. Those 4 right there where my mouse is. Those are the sockets. Next is NSFW. Bro, we ain't getting into that right now. Hey, you're in the wrong comment section, my guy. Sean says, I just wanted to put another term out there. LTZJ for Luffy, Taro, Zoro. No one refers to Luffy, Taro, and Zoro as that. Everyone just refers to just LZ, Luffy, Zoro. No one calls it that. Like, absolutely no one. No, that is incorrect. My friend and I were trying to come up with one for a new name for so long. No, people just call it LZ. Sorry, my man, but that is not what people say. But either way, that looks to be it. Okay, that's cool. I was gonna say, hopefully it's not too long of a video, but you know, I've gone through all the comments that were on this community post here. So thank you very much to everyone that commented, and I really hope that, you know, this video helps you guys out and just learning new terminology in the game, and hopefully it clears up some things that you guys potentially had that you weren't really too sure about. So yeah, hopefully this guys helped you out a lot. And if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and hit the like button, and potentially we can do another one of these videos in the future. And I don't know, I think I mentioned at the start of the video, but I want to do another like a Q&A style video. I want to do another one of those potentially next month or something like that. So definitely stay tuned to the community post for whenever I post a pic about that, or post information about that, because I will be doing another one sometime in December, so look out for it. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post on my channel, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But other than that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.